yesterday. Factory smoke on the horizon, like a ghost above the town. 40 years of honest labor, still never slowing down. But somewhere deep beneath the noise of vengeance, dust and steel, a voice kept whispering softly, this ain't the life you're meant to feel. The years may try to break a man, try to grind him small, but pressure makes a diamond when a stubborn soul stands tall. So I raised the hammer in my hand, swung it hard against my doubt. Every scar across my story is the proof I made it out. I ain't waiting on tomorrow, I ain't begging for a crown. I'm the storm that's finally rising from a man they counted down. I've seen men fade to silence, let their fire slowly die, trade their dreams for quiet comfort under safe and smaller skies. But something wild inside me refused to stay contained, like thunder rolling slowly across a restless plain. Every mile behind me, every bruise I ever knew, was just another lesson in the man I'm growing into. You don't climb a mountain with a heart that's built for fear, you climb it with the courage that survives another year. So I raised the hammer in my hand, swung it hard against my doubt. Every mile across my life is a fight I figured out. I ain't waiting on tomorrow, I ain't living half a life. I'm the fire in the darkness, I'm the thunder in the fight. Listen close if you're tired tonight, if the road feels long and cold, if the dream you buried years ago still burns beneath your soul. The clock ain't your enemy, fear's the thief instead, stealing every step you could have taken, every road you never led. So stand the hell up right now and let your courage roar, because the life you always dreamed about is waiting just beyond that door. So I raise the hammer in my hand, let the whole damn sky ignite. Every mile behind me built the strength I feel tonight. I ain't waiting on tomorrow, I ain't bowing down again. I'm the storm that's finally rising from the fire within a man. Some men spend their whole lives waiting for the moment, others build it, the hammer in their hand.
Slow bass rumble, slow drum heartbeat, steel guitar echo.
You lit.
That quiet pull inside your chest, like there's still a road out there with aim on it.
You wake before the daylight, truck engine in the cold. Same road every morning, same story you've been told. Bills stacked on the kitchen table, dust hanging in the air. 40 miles of quiet highway, and a dream still waiting there. You told yourself maybe someday, like a prayer you never said. But every mile that silence grows, that fire inside your head. The world will try to tame a man, tell him stay where you belong. But the strongest hearts alive are the ones who prove it wrong. The road still calls your name tonight, like thunder in the rain, like a fire burning brighter through every mile of pain. You ain't too old to start again, you ain't too late to rise. A dream you buried years ago still lives behind your eyes. You watch good men grow quiet, watch their wild hearts fade, watch their dreams turn into stories of a chance that's never made. But something in your bones tonight refuses to sit still, like a storm above the valley, building past the hill. Every scar you carry now, every mile you've known, is the map that leads you forward to a life that you still own. You don't build a legend by living life too safe. You build it with the moments when you gamble everything you gave. The road still calls your name tonight, like thunder in the rain, like a fire burning louder through every mile of pain. You ain't too old to start again, you ain't too late to rise. A dream you buried years ago still lies behind your eyes. Listen close if you're tired tonight, if the road feels cold and long, if the man you used to dream about feels like he's long gone. That man ain't dead inside you, he's been waiting all this time for the moment you decide to finally cross the line. So take that first damn step tonight, let your courage roar, 'cause the life you always dreamed about is waiting past that door. The road still calls your name tonight, like thunder in the sky, like a storm that's finally rising after years of passing by. You ain't too old to start again, you ain't too late to fight. The man you were meant to become starts walking tonight.
Some roads don't disappear, they just wait until you're brave enough to walk them.
They said he missed his moment. Said life had already chosen his ending. But stubborn men don't stop. When the road gets hard, they start there. He worked the edge of the county line where the dust meets the wind. 30 years of broken daylight and long nights wearing thin. Old brown jacket on his shoulders, boots cracked from the years, carrying quiet conversations with all his buried fears. Folks down at the corner diner said his story's already told, but something in that man's blue eyes still
like desert gold. The world may write you off one day, say your time is gone, but legends ain't the ones who start early, they're the ones who carry on. And the last man to rise burns brighter than the rest. Every mile he walks is a fire in his chest. When the whole world says your fight is through, he answers with his flame. Some men chase comfort, whoa, but he chased his name. He watched younger men run faster, watch them climb and fall, watch the quiet years pile up against an aging wall. But time can't cage a fighter when the soul still roars, because the strongest storms in history start far beyond the shore. Every scar upon his hands, every mile he survived, was proof the stubborn heart inside him had never truly died. You don't earn a legend story by living life too safe. You earn it in the moments when you gamble what you can. The last man to rise burns brighter than the storm. Every step he takes breaks every worn out norm. When the whole world says you're too far gone, he answers with his flame. Some men chase comfort, whoa, but he chased his name. Somewhere tonight another man feels the same old fight, sitting in a quiet room wondering if it's too late to rise. But the truth about a fighter is something time can't steal. The fire inside a stubborn soul is the strongest thing you feel. The moment he stood up again was the moment fear was gone, cause courage doesn't ask your age, it only asks you to move on. Yeah, the last man to rise burned brighter than the sun. Every mile he fought proved the war ain't done. When the whole world said your time is past, he answered with his flame. Some men chase comfort, the legends chase their name. Years from now, someone will tell his story, not about the years he lost, but about the night he stood up again and became the last man to rise. We ain't king, we ain't saints. It's just a line of stubborn souls who refuse to stay down. We wait before the sunrise, the engines coughing in the cold, hands wrapped tight around the wheel, chasing paychecks made of gold. Factory lights on the horizon, dust rising from the road. Every mile a quiet promise that our story ain't been told. They told us keep our heads down, stay safe and stay in line. But something wild inside us was waiting for its time. You can grind a man with pressure, you can bury him in doubt, but the stronger the storm around him, the louder his heart breaks out. We like to fight tonight, from the ashes of our fight. Every scar across our lives is the reason we survive. When the whole world said stay down, we stood up one more time, because hearts like ours were born to climb. Watch their wild dreams fade, watch their courage slowly disappear under choices they once made. But tonight that fire's rising like thunder in the sky, and every step we take together lifts the mountain just a little higher. Every mile behind us, every fall we've known, only built the kind of strength that refuses to go home. You don't build a legacy by living life too safe. You build it in the moments when you gamble what you gave. We'd light the fire tonight, let the whole damn sky ignite. Every mile across our path, build the strength we feel tonight. When the whole world said stay down, we stood up one more time. Because stubborn souls like ours, we're born to climb. Listen close if you're tired tonight, if the road feels hard and long, if the dream you buried years ago still whispers like a song. You ain't the only heart that fights, you ain't the only soul. There's 1,000 voices rising from the same hard road. So raise your voice, raise your flame, we all bleed the same. And the moment we stand together, the whole damn world must change. We light the fire tonight, let the dark turn into light. Every mile we fought to climb led us to this very fight. When the whole world said stay down, we stood up one more time. Because hearts like ours were born to climb. And somewhere tonight, another tired soul is driving home, thinking they're alone on the climb. They're not. We're all rising from the same fire.
One day someone will ask about your life. Not about the easy days, not about the safe choices, but about the moment you decided to rise. He sat alone one evening under a fading sky, years of quiet struggle hidden in his eyes. Miles behind his footsteps, dreams he almost lost. Every road he traveled came with its own cost. But somewhere in the silence, where the restless spirits go, a voice inside kept whispering, you were built for something more. The road to something greater is never smooth or straight, but every man who ever mattered stood up against his fate. And the night your story changed was the night you chose the flame. When the safe road looked the same, and the fear still spoke your name, you stepped forward anyway. Through the thunder and the rain, that's the night
changed. Maybe they all doubted, maybe they all laughed, maybe they all thought your best years were the past. But the strongest storms in history started far away from quiet hearts that finally chose a different kind of day. Every scar you carry, every mile you fought, built the strength inside you that comfort never taught. You don't become a legend by living life too small. You become it in the moment when you risk it all. In the night your story changed was the night you chose the flame. When the safe road looked the same, and the fear still spoke your name, you stepped forward anyway. Through the thunder and the rain, that's the night your story changed. Listen close if you're hearing this in the middle of the night. If the dream you buried years ago still burns beneath your life, that dream ain't dead tonight, my friend. It's been waiting patiently for the moment you decide who you were meant to be. Because courage isn't loud at first, it starts with just one step, but that step can shake the mountains the moment that it's said. And the night your story changed was the night you chose the flame. When the safe road looked the same, and the fear still spoke your name, you stepped forward anyway. Through the thunder and the rain, that's the night the world saw change. That's the night your story changed. Years from now, someone will tell that story. Not about the years you struggled, but about the night you finally stood up and became the man you were meant to be.